This book is called The Fishing Lesson. The original story was written by Heinrich Böll, who was a German writer. He won the Nobel Prize for Literature. It was a big fancy prize. And they adapted his story so that it could be a book for children. The illustrations are by a man named Emile Bravo. And at the end of this story, there's a little recommendation for some 4th, 5th, and 6th grade learners who might be in your household. So, off we go. This book was published in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Again, it was written by Heinrich Böll, a man from Germany. It was adapted by Bernard Friot, and the illustrations are by Emile Bravo. The Fishing Lesson. In a small harbor on the coast, a man in shabby clothes dozes in his tiny fishing boat. A well-dressed tourist snaps a picture of the peaceful scene. Click, and another one. Click, and just for good measure, one more click. Click. The hostile sound wakes the fisherman up. He sits up sleepy and confused. The tourist quickly starts a conversation. You must be expecting a good catch today. The fisherman shakes his head. It's a lovely day. The fisherman nods. But you're not going out to sea. The fisherman shakes his head again. The tourist gets more and more nervous. Aren't you feeling well? I feel perfectly fine. Oh, I've never felt better. The tourist can no longer hold back the question that he's just bursting to ask. So, why aren't you going out to sea? The answer comes quickly. Because I've already been out this morning. How was the catch? Good enough that I don't need to go out again. I found 4 lobsters in my traps and caught 24 mackerel. And just to reassure the tourist, he says, I've even got enough for tomorrow and the day after that. The tourist climbs down into the boat. Oh, I don't mean to interfere in your business, but what if you went out a second time? Or a third, or even a 4th time? You could catch 3, 4, 5, maybe even 10 dozen mackerel. Just think about it. The fisherman nods. And if you go out tomorrow 2, 3, maybe 4 times again, do you know what would happen? The fisherman shakes his head. In a year or so, you would be able to buy a motorboat. In 2 years, a second boat. In 3 or 4 years, you would have a proper fishing boat. Naturally, you'd catch a lot more fish. Eventually, you would have 2 fishing boats, and the tourist is so enthusiastic that he can't speak for a moment. You would build a warehouse. A refrigerated warehouse. And then, maybe, a smokehouse. And even a canning factory. Oh, you would have your own private helicopter. You would fly around and find all the best shoals of fish, and you'd send instructions to your boats by radio. You would be able to buy the exclusive rights to fish for salmon. Open a seafood restaurant. Export your lobsters straight to the finest restaurants in Paris. And then, again, the tourist is so excited, he can't even speak. He shakes his head and looks out over the waves, gently rolling toward the beach, where all the fish that haven't been caught yet are happily jumping. And then he starts again, but he's still too excited to speak. And then what? The fisherman speaks in a whisper. The fisherman thumps him on the back, as if he's a small child who's swallowed the wrong way. And then you could come relax here in the harbor, take a nap in the sunshine, or just enjoy the magnificent view. But that's exactly what I was doing just now. I was relaxing in my boat, taking a nap, until you woke me up with the annoying click, click, click of your camera. And with the fisherman happily dozing off again, that's the way the story ends. Now, if there's a 4th, 5th, or 6th grader, maybe even a 7th grader, that would like to have a wonderful story read by the author, this is an amazing American author, Sandra Cisneros. This is one of her most famous stories. It's called 11, and it was the first story she wrote for young readers, and it's about a girl who's celebrating is not the right word. It's about a girl who's having her 11th birthday. And this is a URL where you can type it in and get to a session where Sandra Cisneros reads to you her wonderful story. So it's vimeo.com 9245804. Not too hard to copy and paste into a browser. And you will find that story 11 by Sandra Cisneros, and you will love it. It's a wonderful, wonderful story. And here is the last illustration by Emile Bravo, adapting Heinrich Böll's story, The Fishing Lesson, for young readers. The end.